Dolphins fans, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining. Thanks for checking out the channel. I just had to get on here for a few minutes. I got a new camera, so the main reason was I wanted to check it and do some tuning and see how it was working. But also kind of wanted to cover a couple other small things. We just saw yesterday the Jets and the Bills play, and the Jets let it slip at the end there. Um, it is what it is. I'm not that concerned about who won that game. The way so after that game, and after all of Week 6, this is what we're sitting at here. We're sitting at second place in the AFC East at 2 wins and 3 losses. Buffalo's obviously 4-2, and the Jets are 2-4 in third place. New England's bringing up the rear with 1-5 record right now. Um, so second place isn't terrible. I mean, obviously, we're not playing well. We're not doing well as of right now. But what I'm thinking and looking at is we are we're in the mix, okay? And I have a reason for talking about this, but I want to go ahead and mention this. I was looking online and I wanted to see, kind of what the playoff picture was. And after looking at everything, we are a half a game out of a playoff seed. If the playoffs started today, we're a half a game out of it. That doesn't sound like the kind of season that you'd want to just give up on yet. Um, we're not, we're obviously not playing to potential, and that's a big problem. But we're no way out of this. This is not a season for flopping and tanking. So I've been on Twitter and I just keep seeing all these videos of people and these comments from people saying, "Oh, tank for the season and get a good draft pick." And look, man, you ain't gonna get that crap from me. It's not gonna happen. As a matter of fact, I think people that genuinely want us to lose just so we can get a better draft pick. I mean, the ethics of it just boggles my mind. I can't fathom how you could want that at a 2-3 record in Week 6. It makes no sense to me. So, number one, shame on any of you that actually think that and believe that that's the way to go. You shouldn't be a Dolphins fan if that's the case. I mean, there's plenty of fair weather, punk fans that you guys could be fans of any other team. We don't need any more of that crap. And like I said, I'm a little bit different in that even though I can be honest, and like I said, if you look at my videos, I'm honest about what I see, and I don't pull punches just because it's the Dolphins. But at the same time, you got to be a fan, and if you're not a fan, get out of here, be gone, man. Um, we're 2-3, and we're half a game out of a playoff spot, and it's only Week 6. How are you going to say that we need to tank for the season, burn it all down, blow it up? It's over. Shut up with that. No one wants to hear it. And you're dumb if you think that the Dolphins aren't online too. They see a lot of this stuff. Maybe not your post, maybe not my video, obviously, but they see this stuff and they don't. Nobody needs to see it. All right, it's not motivational to them at all. All it's doing is just it's hurting. It's not helping. None of that attitude helps. So be honest about the situation. Say things like they are, but don't be like that. Don't be like, "Oh, we need to tank for the season." Shut up. It's so weak. Plenty of other teams that you could be a weak fan for. Let's just hold that off for the Dolphins, okay? They don't need it. Um, we're not that far out of a playoff spot. The season's far from over. Um, I don't know if Greer's gonna do anything to make to fill in some of these gaps in our roster. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We don't have a ton of money, and certainly should not give up our draft picks for next year to pick up players. Um, I really do think that this could be the beginning of turning things around. We're getting a lot of players coming back in the next couple weeks. I think Bradley Chubb's even going to be back probably early November. That would be my guess. Early to mid-November, we'll see Bradley Chubb coming back. Um, a lot of other players coming back. I don't really. I mean, I've gotten into it before, so I don't really need to do it again. But it's not over, is my point. We're second place in the AFC East. If we take care of business from here on out and we do the things we need to do to win some games, this really isn't that bad. We have the Colts next week, or this Sunday, I guess. We have the Colts. The Colts are a beatable team, and I don't want to say that to insult Indianapolis. Obviously, our team's not playing well either. But the Colts have a very, very weak defense. A weak defense. Run game and pass game. Their defense, they have so many holes in defense, they can't stop anything. And I feel like we could really take advantage of that. And this could be that game that helps us get back to a point where we're productive on offense. And I actually commented on one of David Furones' posts on Twitter and said, this needs to be a good week for our offense. This is where we need to put up a 30-point game. Anthony Richardson's going to be starting instead of Flacco. Old man Flacco's going to ride the pine for this game. And I mean, everything is setting up for us to have a good game here, especially on offense. And this needs to be that. This needs to be that. It needs to be a good offensive production game. So look for that to happen. Want it to happen. I'm not saying, put your feelings out into the universe and ride a good wave of good vibes. No, I'm not talking about all that. I'm just saying have some faith. I know we haven't had much to have faith in lately, but that's why we're fans. Sometimes things don't go the way we want them to. And I can guarantee you the players on the team don't want them to go this way either. So let's just see what happens, all right? Let's take this game here, coming up at Indianapolis. It's going to be a pretty decent game. I think that we're going to win it, though. And it could be a lot worse. We could be looking at, we could very easily be 0-6 or 0-5. 0-5. We could be 0-5 right now. We're not. We're 2-3. Lots of games left. And if you look at the schedule, we have Indianapolis this coming week. Let's see, what else do we got here? Indianapolis this coming week. I think we can win that pretty easily. It should be a win. No way around it. Then we have we have Arizona Cardinals after that. That game we should get Tua back. River Craycraft should be back. That should be good for us, and it's in Miami. So that's the next game. That's two games that we should win. You're looking at 2-0 right there, assuming we start to kind of come out of this offensive slump. Tyler Huntley's got another couple weeks under his belt. He should be playing a whole lot better. So watch for that. Watch for Huntley to be more comfortable behind center. Week 9, we play, I think this is the one we play the Bills. Yep, we're at the Bills in Orchard Park. This could be the one that, we could lose. I'm not even going to say we're not going to win it because we'll have Tua back. We'll have a bunch of other players back. And watch that game to be a game where Miami comes in there pissed off. Watch it happen. I'm not saying we're going to win, but I'm saying it's not going to be a blowout. So, we had those two other games, the Indianapolis and the Arizona Cardinals. I think we can win both those games. Let's mark the Buffalo game as a loss. That's 2-1. 2-1 through week 9. Week 10, let's see. Miami Dolphins at Los Angeles Rams. This is a Monday night game. So, 2-1. I think we can win this game too. This is another one of those games we should win. So, 3-1. I'm being honest of what I think is going to happen. So we're at 3-1 through week 10. Week 11, we've got Las Vegas Raiders at Miami. 4-1. And then New England at Miami, 5-1. Dolphins at Green Bay. I'm going to mark this as a loss. just for brevity's sake and for sake of argument, and I'll mark this as a loss. It's at Green Bay, in Lambeau. So 4-2. 4-2. On to week 14. Jets at Miami. I'm going to say we're going to split those. So that'll be, let's call this one a win. 5-2. And let's see. What do we got here? At Houston, I'm going to say we're going to win that game. So I'll call it 6-2. Then we've got San Francisco at Miami. I'm going to say we're going to win that game too, 7-2. And then we have Miami at Cleveland. I'm going to say we're going to definitely win that. That's 8-2. And the last game of the season, we're playing the Jets again. I said we're going to split with the Jets probably. So I'm going to say 8-3. So I'm thinking that we're going to finish 8 wins, 3 losses. That would put us at 10-6 for the season. It's not that far-fetched. We got to win a few games. 10-6 to end the season, or at the end of the season, that'll likely get us a playoff game. If we can win one of those games, like that, I think that we might lose. If we can win one of those games, 11-6 again, and definitely in a playoff spot, possibly for an AFC East championship. The last game against the Jets, that could be for the AFC Championship, depending on how the Bills finish the season out and depending on how the Jets do too, and us. And before that, in Week 17, the Jets play the Bills. Now, guys, the only reason I'm saying this, I just gave you my prediction for the season. I'm thinking 10-6 and a playoff position, a wild card playoff spot. But here's the difference. The things that are happening this year I'd rather them happen now than have them happen at the end of the season. I want to be playing our best football at the end of the season. I want the Dolphins to be confident and healthy going into the playoffs. Obviously, I want them to make the playoffs. And for that to happen, they need to get their offense together. But I think that will happen. I'm optimistic that that'll happen. So let's just see what happens. Have some faith. And enjoy the ride. Teams always have struggles. Teams lose games. Sometimes teams go on losing streaks. It's bound to happen. It's not the end of the world. It could be a lot worse. So let's just be patient. Let's see what happens here, guys. You take your receipt. 10-6 is my prediction for the season. If we finish greater than that, awesome. But 10-6, that's not that bad. And it's doable. We just have to win those games that we're supposed to win. That's it. If we win a couple games we're not supposed to win, you're looking at even better. Just need to put a few win streaks together and play some good football. So let's see what happens. Have faith, Dolphins fans. Be optimistic. Root for your team. Don't root for your team to fail. I'm not thinking everybody should be just like me and overly optimistic, because I am an optimistic guy, especially when it comes to the Dolphins. But I understand why we would be jaded. I understand 20-something years of no playoff victories. I understand that. I understand a 1-16 season, or I understand mediocre season after mediocre season. I understand bad coach after bad coach. I understand bad quarterback after bad quarterback. Does Mike McDaniel have his issues? Yes. Does Tua Tagovailoa have his issues? Oh yeah, he does, definitely. But with all I know about bad quarterbacks and bad coaches, I've even played for a few, I can tell you that Tua Tagovailoa is not a bad quarterback. And I can tell you that Mike McDaniel, not McDaniels, is not a bad coach. They're not the greatest on the face of the earth. but they're not terrible. They're not bad coaches and bad quarterbacks. I think that what we have now is better than what we've had at any point in the last 20 years. And that's saying something. We've had some good players come through here. So, all I'm asking is to have a little bit of faith in the team that we love. And I'm not saying the guys that are negative Nancy's and are, calling for tanks and all that stuff and tanking the season and blowing everything up. I know you're not calling. I know you guys aren't coming from a terrible place and hate the Dolphins. I know you guys love the Dolphins too. I understand that. But there's better ways to support your team than complaining constantly all over social media. And if you're going to complain, do it with facts, do it decisively, but don't do it insulting. There's no need to be asinine about it. It's frustrating. And as a group of fans, us being Dolphins fans, we really need to step it up a little bit and support our team a little better, even though we're frustrated with some of the decisions that our GM made. I have a cat on my lap. That's a cat. Get down, cat. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Pop a like on there. Subscribe if you want. I'm trying to grow the channel, so all that stuff really helps. Comment if you can. Go Dolphins, and we'll see you guys next time.